Hello, everyone. This is the Random Podcast of Awesomeness.
Lies.
Random podcast of awesomeness.
Uh,
Today we're here to talk about Final Fantasy 2
Yes, we
in a
are.
very special podcast. And why am I screaming so loud?
yes, why?
Because we need to pump some enthusiasm into our group.
Because all you
That's why.
motherfuckers are lazy and boring. That's why.
So yeah,
Step your game up.
last we came to you, we were here last month. So I want to
And
say,
since then I have gotten married and I now have a house. So,
so
yeah.
I want
Did
to
you fireproof it yet, Burke?
wish you all. I want to wish you all a happy New Year, and
I don't.
And a Festivus and Kwanzaa.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Saturnalia.
And then accidentally a whole sandwich.
Shut up.
so this week we are reviewing the game Final Fantasy II. It comes on the Game Boy Advance, and you can also play it on the NES.
Here,
Now,
no,
to
wait,
be
no,
fair,
no,
FF2 has got a lot of different ports. Specifically, Cord, myself, and Burke all were playing the Dawn of Souls remake, which is a bit
Dawn of
different.
Souls, which
Yeah.
has Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 2.
Actually, I was playing it on the iOS.
Really?
No, he wasn't.
So what?
Anyway,
And there's also a PSP port, which is the 20th anniversary edition.
yes,
Yes.
there is that one too. There's a
Which is
few.
actually pretty cool.
There's a few versions, but
There's a lot
I played this week's one with the NES emulator.
Oh, and a little
Emulators.
note, we are actually doing a new formula for our podcast where we play a game, but now we want to start broadening our horizons.
Stuttering.
So we're going to be playing these in a couple weeks instead of just one. That way
Yeah.
we can start doing RPGs and stuff like that.
That way we have more time to not play.
I don't think you guys really care if we don't post every week.
Also,
It's-
anybody who cares, Final Fantasy 2 is $5 on the iOS store.
Is it really?
Yes, and there's
Are you,
it's the
are you
100
trolling or are you being serious?
I'm on my iPod right now. It says Final Fantasy 2 $5 end of year holidays campaign now running. Square Enix game at 25 to 67% off for 2 weeks only.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So it's normally
Right.
$10. Okay.
We should probably play like shit on the touchscreen.
So anyway, Final Fantasy. Everyone's probably heard the name before. It's a pretty
I
big
haven't.
name.
What's it
I've
about?
never heard
Yeah.
of it.
What's it about?
Well, it depends on which iteration that you're going through. In this particular iteration, we start off with our hometown of Flynn being absolutely fucking destroyed by the Empire with fire and mercenaries.
We're introduced to a very cool fight scene.
Well, I could see that in a synopsis of a game on like IGN. This place gets fucking destroyed.
Yes, it does. Although when you revisit Flynn later in the game, it's fine. There's a lot less fire.
Yes.
But yeah, the
They
Empire,
have magical
the Empire
abilities.
is starting to be incredibly, and they're starting to exact a lot of their imperial power on the populace. Try saying that 5 times fast.
Just say it this way: the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, the Empire strikes back, and our main characters end up being attacked during one of these raids, and they all end up losing their parents during said raids, and they end up being attacked by a group of Black Knights.
Wait, Gerda, you're telling me that in a Final Fantasy game there are orphans?
Yes, lots of orphans.
Oh my god. I think
Yeah.
I just almost a whole sandwich.
If you say that one more time, I'll kick you from this call.
Fuck the sandwiches.
Hey.
Just get them out of here.
Now, this is when we were first introduced to your combat system, which is pretty much a direct port of the Final Fantasy I combat system, in which it's turn-based combat. You select what commands you would like your characters to do, ranging from attack to casting magic to using items to fleeing from battle, and you can't win this fight. Seriously,
No.
these black knights will hit you 5 times for about 1,000 damage each.
Yep.
Although I did watch a video where somebody cheated and beat them.
Yeah,
and it makes you reset
but
the game.
a well-renowned glitch of this game, if you beat the Black Knights, the game crashes.
Yep.
Yes. I would have loved to see what happens after that, but I'm not going to get my wish.
This
Never.
is true. So yeah, we find ourselves waking up in Altair, with the exception of one of our party members, and it is our job to go attempt to find this party member and bring down the Empire.
Yes.
Help you what?
As orphans.
As orphans. Yes.
You taking down an empire?
Damon, want to help Dad, please?
Another
I'm trying
part
to
of
do
the
my
canon,
podcast.
like every other Final Fantasy game,
trying to do
except
my
like
show.
Final Fantasy X and X2 and Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2. This game has no direction and canon at all to any of the other Final Fantasy games. It'll never
Damon,
be
will
referenced
please
again,
help Dad?
etc., etc.
Actually, you'd be surprised at that, Corb. There are a few references thrown about.
I mean, canon references.
Yeah, there is not a direct sequel to this game, but there are definitely references thrown in.
Oh, and Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 4 after years.
Yeah, he's talking about sequel procedures, not references. But yes, that's your basic intro. Congratulations.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now we move on to this fucking game and what it's all about. Now, what is this game all about?
This game is about this group of orphans taking down an empire.
Yes.
Didn't you just say that 5 minutes ago, Gerdat?
Yes. Well, you asked what it was about, and that's what it's about.
I meant gameplay-wise.
Gameplay.
It's a turn-style RPG.
Yes, this is a turn-based RPG, much like its predecessor Final Fantasy 1 was. Literally, the combat system feels really copy-pasted from Final Fantasy 1. I'm not sure about the animations themselves. We'll cover that later.
Well, a lot of they've really kept the same battle system for all of them. Like, even in 6,
as
not much
graphically
different.
advanced as these games tend to get, the turn-based strategy, turn-based combat usually doesn't change that much throughout the series. And
Mostly the changes is coming better story and just more overall, just more cohesive, more cohesive package.
that and interface. Usually they have different gimmicks and interface quirks that differentiate the games.
Yes.
Small things,
And especially when you play this, if you've ever played like one of the later Final Fantasy games, like 6 for instance, you just start to notice like, yeah, you can. This game is really rough compared to 6.
Well, to be honest, 6 is probably next to 13 the easiest Final Fantasy game.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean,
6 was to, well, if you don't count Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, because that game's terrible.
Which isn't really a Final Fantasy game. It's a port of something else.
But no, it is a fun.
But just the thing about 6 is that it just made it so streamlined that anybody could really play it. Just make it very accessible to everybody. And 2 does not feel like a very accessible game, especially if you're just like coming into this. You don't really play RPGs. You're going to get your face thrown into the ground and smash into a pile of bricks.
Yes.
Which brings us to our first rule of the gameplay of this game. Rule number 1:
don't explore.
Get a guide.
Also, don't explore.
Yes, no exploration is allowed.
This game does not like when you explore.
Guide, and for the love of God, if you're going to cheat, do it hardcore, because...
Like
Yes.
Yes, Corb, when he finally actually started playing the damn game, he said, no, everyone is complaining about how bad this game is, so I'm going to cheat my way through it, and he got literally to the part just before where I am.
The mantra of this game is, you will die.
You will die a lot, you will die often, and you will die for no fucking reason.
So basically, it's like God smites you.
No, God doesn't smite you. The things that God sends at you smite you, and then he laughs at your faces.
Why does God hate us? That's beside the point.
No, actually, it's kind of the point here. This game, gameplay-wise, again, it's pretty much a direct copy of Final Fantasy 1. But the way that the execution in this game is absolutely horrible. Now, I'm gonna skip ahead and go into one of the gameplay quirks that we've got, and that is I want to cover that later at the end, but grinding. Everyone knows that in a traditional turn-based RPG, there's a lot of grinding involved usually. There are not so much grinding involved in other titles, and they're usually better off for it. This game will eat your life if you even try to play it, and will consume your soul if you try to play it right.
I started playing, and I'm like, yeah, everybody go good at it. And Corp told me, hey, you need to grind. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go over here. I got destroyed. I'm like, okay, that's one time. Then I went over there, destroyed. Then I finally made it to where I had to go. I'm like, so apparently you need to grind at the beginning of this freaking game
Yep.
for
pretty
several
much.
hours.
Pretty much.
And then at this point, I'm like, this game is terrible. I'm gonna go masturbate.
For the record, our opinions of this game are ridiculously skewed. We all hate this game, but they're skewed because we actually played through the first portions of it.
Yes. I didn't actually make it to the redeeming parts of the game just because I'm like, I'm not gonna work hard at finding the redeeming qualities of you game. Who the hell do you think I am?
A critic who's...
I have 65 games on Steam and you aren't one of them. And then I'm gonna do something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's with all of us. I tried my damnness for the first 2 weeks to actually go through this, and then when we kept delaying the actual podcast because one, it was Christmas, guys. We weren't gonna do a podcast.
Yeah, we all had stuff to do. We were all being bored and happy.
And our schedule now is 2 weeks, so we were gonna do this in 2 weeks after Do Re Mi, and we all played it during that time. Except Christmas was up right then, and we're like, no, we're not doing it Christmas.
Right.
No, then the also that day it was Christmas, and Christmas is all about happiness and goodwill. Then we would have done a podcast where all of us would have been complaining and wishing death upon this game.
Yeah.
I mean, basically that's true.
Yeah.
Plus, I might have been pretty drunk at the time, so it probably wouldn't have been a very good podcast.
The thing about it is, this year I was like, you know what? I want to play a game that just anally rapes me, and I was about Dark Souls, but thanks to this podcast, I have now been anally raped by Final Fantasy II, and I can say, yeah, I played a game that destroyed me this year, and I hated it.
You know what this means, right?
I need a New Year's resolution.
Class action lawsuit.
Class action lawsuit.
But going back to FF2 directly, the reason why grinding in this game is so famous is because particularly stats in this game only increase if you actually use them. For example, in order to actually increase your maximum HP, you need to take physical damage or actually, take damage at all. In order to increase the power of your spells, you need to use them in combat. Or unless, of course, it's Cure or Warp, because you actually get experience for those out of battle.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem here is that if you want to get through this game somewhat easier, you're gonna have a shit ton of time grinding and with no real results. Because the best way that I've seen to get through the game is to max out your offensive spells. Because really early on, it becomes prevalent that black and white magic are the most powerful forces in the game.
Yeah, it seems like that.
The main reason is all spells in this game have multi-target. Mind you, just like all other FF games, when you multi-target, usually their effects are diminished, and this is true for this game, where the effects are directly cut equal to how many times you're actually dividing the spell. So if you cast, let's say, Blizzard 1 on 8 enemies, you'll be lucky for it to do 1 point of damage on each enemy.
Yes, you will miss a lot in this game.
Yes, especially with white magic. I don't exactly know why, but white magic is really hard to actually hit your allies with if it's not higher level. This is really obvious with both Blink and Izana. Blink is the status spell that gives your party that gives whoever has it cast upon them increased evasion, which only works for physical attacks. I don't know why. It should work for magical attacks too. Yeah. And Izana, as everyone knows by now,
That's because magical attacks have splash damage.
True, magical attacks do usually have splash damage, but if I'm able to avoid the initial impact, I should be able to avoid, the splash damage, or at least parts of it.
Of course, we're using this logic on a isometric, basically turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Mm.
Although that's also another fact that your character gets stabbed and axe in the middle of a fight and doesn't usually die.
Right.
So yeah,
Wow,
that's that.
commentate with us.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I didn't actually play this game.
You beat it.
Because, yeah, you guys probably noticed that by now, is that my computer sucks and would overheat if I tried playing anything on it, so...
Yeah.
All of my opinions are formed by hearsay and persuasion.
Right.
Cloud's computer is basically an Atari that can surf the web.
It is a piece of cheese.
Piece of cheese.
Connected to the internet.
Yes.
How about you, Corb? You got anything to say about the grinding?
Oh, no, because I cheated.
Yeah, I didn't go solo as the cheat this time, but only because I really did feel bad about cheating in Ask and X.
Well, that's because you're terrible. All of you are terrible.
Yeah.
How do you not beat that game?
I beat it after the podcast.
Yeah, you're terrible.
Shit happens.
Alright, so, ignoring the grinding aspect, there is another part of the gameplay that is really, really fucking broken.
Which one's that?
Story.
As you travel throughout the map, you'll notice that there are a lot of cities around, and you'll also notice that sometimes if you're not actually talking to the townsfolk, you have no idea what the fuck you're supposed to do. This is in fact normal place for the earlier iterations of turn-based RPGs. Unless you talk to the townsfolk, you have no idea what you're doing. However, even if you talk to the townsfolk, if you get lost, you're fucking dead.
You lose.
Yeah.
You lose.
Yeah.
Because
See?
what'll end up happening is you're wandering throughout the world map, you go a little bit off the beaten path to go explore, like you're supposed to do in an FF game, and you'll walk right into the next enemy zone.
Think about it.
This issue in this game is its major problem on the world map. You have access to pretty much the entire first continent right from the get-go. This is bad because for the last third of the first continent, there are like rank 4 to 5 monsters in here that you have no chance of killing, and will multi-hit and kill you and poison you every step. Oh, and there's 2 different forms of poison in this game. Zoning on the world map is one of the biggest issues and what really makes this game unplayable, because you have to go through some of these zones sometimes. Even if you know where the fuck you're going, you're going to be saving all the time, hoping to God you don't run into this specific group of enemies, and hoping to God that if you do run into them, you manage to get away fast enough, which you won't, because they're so high above you that they are.
Well, yeah, if you try to run away, they're going to kill you way before you get away.
Yeah, they will kill you before you even attempt to flee, and even if you're attempting to flee, they'll still attack you before you get a turn off.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even if you do get your turn off, the way fleeing is calculated in this game is agility versus agility. So they have higher agility. You're not going anywhere, dude.
I mean, it's one of the things about this game that it's gotten better a lot over the years. Is actually making the game more user friendly, where you actually just something like, oh, by the way, last time you were playing, your last objective was to do this. But every once in a while, you find something that it's still like this. Like I played Phantom Hourglass, and I picked it up a month later, and I had no clue where it was, what I was supposed to do, and the game didn't even bother to try to point me in the right direction. So I just stopped playing.
Granted, that is definitely an issue, but thankfully most of the NPCs have recurring and repeated dialogue. So as long
They all
as
seem to know where you're supposed to be going.
You should be okay.
Yes. Oh, good, I got louder.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to say, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, my mic keeps going down.
It's because the power of Gridad's voice can change electronic equipment.
Yes, that's it.
Apparently so. But yeah, those are my main gripes about it. Because of my 2 issues, I was unable to even get past the first Dreadnought section, which was. I could get into the first Dreadnought section. I had to use a chocobo to do it, but I could get in there. But I couldn't beat it because I would always end up fighting either the Were-Panthers or the Ant Lions. Ant Lions 5-shot and 1-hit kill my party. The Were-Panthers I can't do any fucking damage to.
Really bad game design. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, the map design is bad.
Yeah. The thing
Good
is,
thing they learned their lesson in 6.
around the
Yep.
first continent is so fucking huge. It loops around the goddamn.
By the way, guys, here's anybody listening to the podcast. Don't play this game. If you want to play a good Final Fantasy game, play 6. Probably the best one, honestly.
And all
6.
don't go out and play this game. This is the game that that Square Enix wants us to fucking produce.
See, this is the thing about it. It's like,
No, obviously not, because they redid it.
They remake this game alongside 1. 1 is the good game in these remakes.
No, they also did the anniversary edition. There was the anthology version for the PlayStation.
iOS.
Anthology has 1 on it.
iOS.
Anthology has, well, it came with a couple games. It also came with, I think it came with the original.
On it.
I think we got the original 3, the one with the Onion Kids. I could be wrong, but
I don't think that was ever on the PS1.
I don't know. I think our first part for that might have been the DS, but I digress.
Well, 3 here came on that, on anthologies. 5 and 6 came on anthologies.
Oh, I don't know which one was 1 and 2, but I digress.
So, other than that, there is another gameplay gimmick that we got to talk about, and that's the key terms and items.
Oh, I hate that shit.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is why Burke was stuck when he actually started playing the game. In order to actually progress through the story,
Oh, yeah.
to learn key terms by talking to NPCs. All the NPCs that you're forced to talk to are in fact named, so that's not the big deal. The thing is figuring out which key terms and items go with which NPC.
Right.
Unless you stop.
Yeah, it doesn't really make it. Doesn't seem to like it makes it very obvious because in the first part it tells after you do some bull BS, the queen asks you, "Hey, talk to my servant, the guy, Mr. Houdini over there." I talked to him like, "Okay, what's the key term for him?" And I'm like, doesn't seem like it's working. So I left. I came back half an hour later. I talked to him again. I think I finally figured it out. I'm like, well, you could have made that easier.
Yeah. But yeah, you're introduced to it early on, and it stays throughout the entire game. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's also, one of those things that, they could have just said, you could have scripted this better. We didn't need to, have these terms like this. We could have just said, hey, we were told to talk to you about this. What can you tell us about this? You can tell us this. Okay, now we gotta go talk to this other dude about the thing you just told us.
Right.
It really feels kind of like when you have a code word when you were a kid growing up for a treehouse. It's like, oh, the code word is banana. Now can you tell me what I need to know? And
it's
they'll
like
mention
playing telephone with the NPCs, except
Yes.
you can't lose.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I talked to this guy, and he knows that I need some information for him. But he will
Holy
not
crap.
even mention that. Okay.
What?
Somebody has a really loud noise going on.
I don't hear
Okay.
anything.
Okay. It's something that opened on mine. Okay.
Okay.
Good job.
Okay.
Give me
So,
for a second there.
I thought he was getting knifed by a Final Fantasy 2 fanboy.
Anyway, continuing on.
Let's get
Alright.
into the fanboys.
I think that really does cover it throughout our basic gameplay stuff.
Play 6.
Yeah, go play 6 or 4.
The thing about it is that you can't really say, oh, I wish this game never existed, because the thing about Square Enix is they usually learn from their missteps.
Yeah, they
And they did. They obviously
I mean,
did.
it's the same thing now. Like 13, everybody hated 13. Well, a lot of people hated 13. And now it seems like 13.2 is actually going to be good.
well,
13 was
a little
good.
bit too much sci-fi it's still a bit too much sci-fi, but we can look over that because, in all seriousness, the series has been getting
It
progressive.
wasn't too much sci-fi. Look at fucking Final Fantasy 8.
Well, yeah, the series.
Well, that's not even the problem with that game. The problem with that game was it was more linear than Call of Duty, which is the most pathetic thing ever. I mean, how can you make a game more? How can you make a more linear game than a first-person shooter and call yourself an RPG?
Borderlands?
I was about to say Fable.
They're
I want to say FF10, but
Fable.
Fable's not a first person shooter though.
I said RPG.
Oh,
Was that how can
Borderlands?
how can you make an RPG so linear like that?
Lens is a for FPS RPG.
It's a loot.
I guess I could
Yeah.
probably argue and say Harvest Moon.
well,
Never.
the thing is
But here's play that shit.
a farming simulator.
So it was Farmville before Farmville existed.
Yes, it was in fact Farmville before Farmville.
My face went. From Belception.
Does anyone else have things to say about the gameplay?
Can I say it's a piece of shit and I hate it? Also, wait. Is it okay if I like record myself opening my folders and deleting the game from my computer? Then we can post it on the podcast. Okay, I'm going to my downloads folder. Let me see. Scroll down. Let's see, where is it? Here it is. Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Right click. Delete. Okay. Minimize everything else. Okay. Now I go to my recycle bin. Okay, and I delete it along with my old porn.
From us.
And I delete it along with my porn. And there we go. And it is now off my computer forever.
Yay!
And that is all this game deserves.
It's not that controlling this game is hard.
No, controls in this game are fine.
The game just fights you in every single. The game
game's
fights
just too
you.
hard.
It fights you every single step of the way.
Long story short, the game is too hard.
Long story short.
Well, that's the thing. It's. I want to say it's too hard. I really do. But if you actually give a fuck and know what the hell you're doing, this game is.
If you know what you're doing, it's still hard. The bosses have too much goddamn health and do too much damage.
No, it's not that they have too much health.
The game is hard because of poor decision making that came along with the development process.
Are all ranked monsters, and because they're all ranked monsters, they happen to have a shit ton more defense and HP than you're supposed to be able to deal with at the moment.
Then it's hard.
For example, the Red Soul, the thing that Corb didn't actually have to go fight. Motherfucker. Seriously, I hate the fact that Corb cheated his way to the part where I was. Took him.
Gerda, cry harder. You freaking figured that
exactly. Just, let me get a bucket for you.
Yeah, but I kind of want to go over him. Maybe later. Do we have anything else to say about gameplay?
It's hard because of poor motherfucker.
The thing what Bert is trying to say. It sucks.
Yeah.
Troll phone is troll.
It's not that controlling it's hard. It's just the game likes to be hard.
Yes, the game is far too difficult for it to be enjoyable, but it's difficult for the wrong reasons.
And even if you did know how to play through it, you'd have to have at least played through it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like that's a bad thing, mind you, but it definitely shows itself here. There are games where it's okay to have, a new game plus be your actual new game.
What?
For example, Chrono Cross was famous for being like that. If you didn't know where the hell you were going in Chrono Cross, well, it was still more linear than this, which it was better for.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole problem with what this game does is they didn't put mountains anywhere. They're just like, hey guys, you can go anywhere you want. Okay?
Don't expect to survive.
Yeah. Yeah, and the best part is going too far north right in the beginning of the game.
See, that's the whole thing about it is that 6 is easier, but it is just so... It does not fight you. Like, it says, you know what? Here, come here and play this game.
It's the easy man Final Fantasy. It's the easy man's Final Fantasy.
Just enjoy the experience. It's all about the experience.
Yeah. Whereas this game, it's like, okay, try and break the game. We dare you.
Yeah. Try and sequence break, motherfuckers.
It's just like, okay, well, here's this game. We're just gonna drop you here in this forest with no food and no weapons. Here, have fun. Have a ball.
And the grinding is really bothersome. Like, I hate grinding already in this game. It forces you. If you don't grind, there's no way you can progress. Yeah. There really is. And in some games, people say that, but there is a way that you don't have to grind. You just gotta play smart. This game, no, you have to grind, which is really dumb.
And I say this game is shit, but I just feel like this game. Sorry, go ahead.
You go.
I was gonna say that I just feel like this game. There's a lot of good elements in this game. It's just that it just gets so tiring. Every single corner, you want to enjoy the game, but you just feel like it's pushing you back.
You just can't. Yeah, you just can't
enjoy it. It's like no. We gotta always do something to make sure you don't enjoy what's going on here. You just gotta make it more and more difficult.
Yeah,
and that's just frustrating.
Because it's a shame, because this game looks like it could, like, it has somewhat of an undefined story for you.
It had a nice. I like the beginning a lot. The beginning was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just they don't want to give you a chance to enjoy the game.
Right. Now, I'm gonna say one of the main reasons that is because regardless of where you are in the game, they tried to make this linear. They tried. They made it so that you only have you only have certain options that you can actually go and do. The problem is getting to them requires going through areas that you're not supposed to be in yet.
Yeah.
For example, right off the bat, the only spells that you can have are Fire, Blizzard, Thunder, and Cure. You know, basic elemental combat spells and a heal spell. By the way, get yourself three Cure books and start spamming, because if you don't do this, motherfucker, you're screwed. Yep, that's what you are.
Wait, you're still talking as if people are going to be playing this game after we hear this podcast.
Don't play this game, people.
If you're crazy and you want to do it, go for it. And
also, by the way, just so you guys haven't realized yet, we're definitely not getting paid by Square Enix.
Yeah, Square Enix didn't bribe us.
Yeah, they're like, why the fuck would we bribe you to talk shit about our game?
They're probably sitting there in their company now and they're thinking, good thing we didn't actually ask them to. Good thing we didn't actually bribe these guys. They hate our game.
Well, you know, the thing is,
I might get paid
they
off
probably
by
agree with
Apple.
it too.
Yeah, they probably realize this is one of their more undefined games.
Their missteps.
Yeah.
I think we've harped on gameplay for long enough, though, guys.
I don't.
I think we can harp on it more.
Well, we can, but there's no real point. We've covered most of the problems.
Well,
Alrighty.
do we want to go talk about their awesome graphics?
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
NES graphics. Or NES.
Well, no, Corb. These did get a GBA update. They really did.
They look
They
better,
did.
I guess.
They look pretty they look pretty
To
good.
be fair, this game does definitely look like it's a bit. This game looks better than FF1, at least somewhat. And the animations are fine. A lot of the spell effects are actually pretty cool. And all in all, it looks and plays fine. It's a shame that I can't enjoy looking at these. Dude. It's like, God, here I am again.
Yep.
I want to particularly take a note of the group Thunder spell. I love how that thing fucking looks.
I mean, the spells look nice.
Some
Saga?
things in the game look really nice,
Yeah.
but then
It's effects.
there are a lot of things that look like
Rehashed.
a rehash of pixels.
Well, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, I played 6. I'm like, if I put a side by side, I don't know if I could really tell that much of a difference.
Oh, of course you can. NES to SNES graphics.
Yeah, but I was wondering how much of that is like how much reuse assets there really are.
There's actually not. A lot of the enemy designs from 6 are vastly improved on the enemy designs from 2.
Yeah.
Speaking of, the enemy designs in this game are nice. They give you exactly what you're supposed to see. Oh look, the ice elemental is made of ice. The other ice elemental has ice crystals surrounding a skull. The zombies are freaking losing flesh, you know?
Yes,
There's not a whole lot of censorship in this game.
definitely not.
Visually, it's not a bad game, especially...
It's not bad visually. It's just I don't like looking at it because it reminds me what the fuck I'm playing again.
Oh, Gerdat. You'll get over it.
How about you, Corb?
What the fuck?
Any quips about the graphics?
About the graphics? Not really. I mean, it looks like a NES Final Fantasy game. The GBA report was a... Oh, sorry. It was a lot more of a... Sorry, I had to stretch. It was a lot more of a colorful game because of, you know...
The GBA has a bigger color palette.
Yeah. No, I didn't really have a problem with some of the graphics. I mean, some of the graphics looked kind of, I wouldn't say glitchy, but like they weren't supposed to be there sometimes. Like graphics into a wall or something, but aside from that.
Yeah, I gotta grant that a few of the dungeon layouts really show that the graphics here aren't exactly the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Alright, so from graphics, moving on to sound. Everyone knows that Final Fantasy soundtracks are very nice and, you know, you can listen to them all day.
Hello? Wait, what? I wasn't listening.
Oh, I thought that was the part where we ragged on the music.
Hey, oh, the music?
The music? Sounds like, well, I mean, the music's not really memorable.
I don't know. I don't really even notice. I can't remember a single song that really stood out.
All I really remember is the battle theme.
I like the battle
like,
theme.
Yeah, it sounds
It's
alright.
fine, mainly because you'll be hearing it a lot, so it has to be
Yeah.
acceptable. But nothing really stands out.
The rest of it is
Yeah,
kind of repetitive.
Everything
I mean, did this game even have final boss music?
um,
Or was it default boss music? Because I know Final Fantasy 1 didn't have boss music.
Battle theme for Chaos.
Yeah, because I know Final Fantasy 1 there was no battle theme. There was
But
the boss, normal boss
Dark
theme.
Emperor does have his own theme.
Yes, he
Okay.
does.
I don't exactly remember it, mainly because I never got there, but
Yeah. Porqué.
What about the sound effects?
sound effects in here are fine. Fire sounds like fire. Ice sounds like windows shattering. Thunder sounds like static electricity going through my hair. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
good.
god. Sorry.
What?
Sorry. Sorry if you guys heard that.
I heard it, and I hate you for it.
Sorry. Oh shit, that's another Amnesia thing?
What?
DLC? Sorry, go ahead, sorry.
Amnesia DLC. Wait. I don't give a fuck. Wait, what? Amnesia DLC.
Sorry.
But I haven't even beat Amnesia.
For those of you not paying attention, Corbin's discovered that there's a new DLC for Amnesia. Go
You're
get
not,
it.
even, you're not even in the old times. You have a flashlight now. What is this?
Wait, what? Post this.
It's
shit.
called White Knight.
So I can buy it and not play it. Awesome.
Anyway,
Yay!
so what else should we touch on?
How about the story elements?
I don't know. Pretty average.
From what I've seen of the story, it's very nice. It's definitely driven, where you're supposed to go here, and here. It's trying to tell you where to go, and there is definitely some emotional depth here. Not a lot, mind you, but it's there. You can tell that there's definitely feelings towards characters that end up dying off for no fucking reason. God damn it, Yosef, you're a monk. You can push giants out of the way.
Well,
Why
obviously
can't
they
you break
died
a boulder?
for an emotional response. So to invoke emotional response.
Oh yeah, spoiler
Yes.
alert. A lot of your sub party members will end up dying before you're done using them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yosef dies. I'm pretty sure Scott dies. And Min-
Hey, wait. Are we doing spoilers now?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're not gonna play this shit. Wait, what if somebody here actually wants to play this still? What if they're like,
Still actually
hey,
play it. More power to them. Get yourself a guide. Do not go exploring. Follow the guide to the word, and then pretend that you're still playing a Final Fantasy game.
instead of just basically playing on rails at this point?
Yeah.
You will need a guide for this game.
So
I thought I could do it without a guide, and
Don't try playing this without a game. You will get lost.
I tried it. I seriously tried it, and no, it's not worth it.
playing this game's not worth it.
Nope.
I feel bad for the guy who originally had to play this game.
Yeah,
Bug
because
test-
it's like,
bug testing.
well, mind you, I'm pretty sure that there were a lot of significant bugs, like they had to patch out, but the main reason why is probably because of the copy-pasted battle system.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty copy paste though.
And to
Awkward
be fair,
silence.
the story in this game probably is pretty good. It's not, it's probably not, the grandest of the FF games, because I don't know anyone who actually gives a fuck about Leon. But it's definitely one of those games where it might actually work.
Hmm.
And that's what I have to say about that.
Alrighty.
That's Gerda's story, and he's sticking to it.
Whole sandwiches.
Fuck sandwiches. I'm
This is pretty
Corbin.
cool. Check this out right
all
now.
right. I'm taking all your sandwiches. Come on.
Damn it.
I
Hell no.
want them. I want the turkey, the salami, and the cheese. Come on.
Well, too bad he has peanut butter.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, peanut butter sandwiches are awesome.
Anyway. You guys are awkward.
You guys
Yeah.
are.
You're
I'm-
awkward.
Hey, I'm reading about Amnesia. I'm trying to find where I get down with this.
What have I done?
Yes. What the hell are you
Final thoughts.
Already?
Let's get the Amnesia White Knight mod.
Sure, we've been going for 40 minutes now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we might as well wrap this up because we're pretty much exhausted of material. My only other thing that I want to get on is a few of the bosses, and yeah, that's it.
So we're ending the podcast. Great.
Bosses are hard.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of difficult bosses in this game. However, if you have played other Final Fantasy games before, then you do know, like you usually know how to take down these guys. For example, your Adamantoise boss, which will become a regular enemy really damn quick, is a turtle, so he's weak to ice.
Basically, the best way of doing this is attack, revive, attack, revive.
Yeah, especially if you've got one of the side characters with you at the time. I always end up using my side characters as healers, mainly because I want my other guys using offensive magic at all times.
Yep.
So I'll have my side character, I'll have either Minu, Yosef, or Scott just group cast Cure 5 all day, and then I'll never actually have to worry about HP.
Pretty much. So,
yes.
Final thoughts?
Yes.
We're actually giving this game a review score.
Yes, as
pretty
terrible as this
we're all
game
going
is.
to give it. I think we already know what we're all going to give it.
A 7.5? Is it 7.5?
No.
That will beat your ass.
I'm about to kick your ass on this call.
Anyway.
No trolling is allowed.
Alright, Corb, you go first with your score.
Can you guys hear my sound?
Yes.
Corb's going first because he picked this game.
Oh, okay, wait. Let me turn this down.
Everybody knows he picked
Let me
this
turn
game.
this down. Okay. 3.5 out of 10.
Alright.
I cheated, and cheating actually made the game somewhat enjoyable. Somewhat.
I gotta say, if you manage to cheat your way successfully through this game, and don't cheat your way through the Black Knight fight, there's probably a good game here. But because you have to do that, that's not...
Recurrent theme with this podcast. There's a good game here, but this game sucks dick.
There is no good game in Final Fantasy 2.
No, there's a good game here.
No, there isn't!
If this game weren't terrible, big game of the year.
Yeah.
Exactly. If this game wasn't fucking terrible, it would be game of the year.
Wait, can we make that like a matchup for our podcast? Just like on the podcast of Awesomeness. If this game weren't terrible. Wait.
If this game weren't terrible, it might actually be good.
Yes. There's a good at saying there's a good game here, but we can't find it.
Yeah.
Actually, let's put that as a
motto.
Motto. Not only the motto, it's under the video. Summary. There's a good game here. There's a good game here. We try to find it for 40 minutes. So yeah, final thoughts. Okay, so you're giving it a 3.5 out of 10. Yep. Who's next?
Burke, you're up.
Okay. So considering I played this game for about 3 hours maybe, then I rage quit, I'll give this game a rage quit out of 10.
Can you explain what that means?
That means I did not actually play this game enough to enjoy it, and when I did play it was so incredibly aggravating that I stopped playing. So I'll give it I'll be nice. I'll give it a 4 out of 10.
Alright then. And you, Shadow?
I did play through this whole game, and I am surprised that I beat it, to be honest.
Me too.
It is a very hard game, and it is very, very silly. There are way too many things that could have been better with this game. I am definitely going to give this a 4 out of 10.
Damn, copy my score more.
Alright, which leads us up to me. I hate this game. I really do. But I still think that somewhere in here is an enjoyable experience. For those of you that have found it awesome on you, and in all seriousness, you need to be playing.
But Gerda, your argument, if you have to cheat at a game, where if you have to cheat so much where there's like no difficulty spike whatsoever, there's no difficulty at all, how can you really call that a game at that point? Where you just basically
if you have to cheat so hard that there's no longer a challenge, that's depressing and very sad.
That just speaks to how badly made the game is, really.
Well, the thing is, Shadow didn't have to cheat his way through it, It is possible to beat this game without cheating. People
Yeah,
have done it.
Yeah, but you really just have to follow a guide verbatim.
Yes, if you're not following that guide verbatim, you're going to get attacked by a group of werewolves or vampires, and they're going to rape you.
And even it seems even when you do find a go by a guide, go use a guide, that you can't like every once in a while you just run into it and they'll kill you, just because the game decided it wants to kill you.
Yeah, that's due to the world map. That's due to the overworld zoning issues, which you've already covered. And because of the zoning issues, and because of the difficulty spikes that that have no sense of being there, I'm gonna give this game a 3.
Wow, and I gave it the lowest score.
Yeah, I hate this game. The spikes that are here shouldn't be here. The zoning is a huge fucking issue because it's present throughout the entire game, and the gimmicks that you're supposed to actually know beforehand, you have no way of knowing are coming up.
Which leads us to Cloud.
Yes, Cloud. What would you rate this game if you had actually played it?
I'll give it a Ghost Critic score. How about that?
Okay.
Ghost Critic score. I'll give it a Ghost Critic score of 4.
All right.
Because I think that, well, it still sucks. That's an awful score to give the game.
Right.
It basically means it's unplayable.
No, it's still playable, but
it looks nice, and it actually has functioning game mechanics. So
yeah,
there's that.
Like I usually wouldn't score a game below 3 in a 2. If I would, it's just because the game is unplayable or broken.
yeah, if I'm gonna score anything below a 3, it better have actually made me rage quit and break some things. This game didn't actually make me do that. I just didn't want to fucking play it after a while.
Yeah,
You would never hurt a fly. You never hurt a fly.
No. He heard a piece of drywall.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not this game though. That was some other game. All right. Since that's all of our final scores, there's just one. I just want us to go over one other boss before we actually fail.
okay.
Oh, God damn it.
Damn it, Gordette.
Well, you know what? Fine. And I hate the Red Soul boss. That's all I'm gonna say about it. It's fucking infinite defense. But that ends our random podcast of awesomeness on Final Fantasy II. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to us. We will be back in hopefully 2 weeks' time for our next title.
Yes.
Bitches.
And I swear to God, if anybody picks Final Fantasy or Legend of Zelda, I'll kill them where they stand.
Well,
Cloud gets a pick, so it's either
yeah,
going
Cloud's
to be
picking
some
this time,
shitty Game
so-
Boy game.
I haven't.
It's going to be a shitty Zelda game.
That means that Cloud's gonna pick Soul Calibur.
You pick Soul Calibur, I'm done.
Well, this is a
I'm
very
not playing Soul
political.
I'm
Calibur.
gonna get a new MU.
I have to make a political decision.
Political decision.
What are you talking about?
I have to be the diplomat between the raging gamers and the okay gamers and the gamers who don't really give a crap.
So anyway,
I'd never rate.
so anyway,
Wait, are we still recording?
yes, we are.
Okay, wait. Let's keep recording. Let's see how this goes.
We're actually.
You know what? I have a problem with you, Carl, you motherfucker.
What did I do?
Yeah, let's take this outside right now.
Okay.
Sure, you guys go play in the streets. By the way, watch out for.
Play in the streets. I'll beat your ass, Gordette.
Anyway,
Really?
You too.
thank
I'll
you,
take you both on.
thank you all for listening. This has been the random podcast of
No, it
awesomeness.
hasn't. You're out of order.
Whoa.
This whole panel's out of order.
We'll catch you all. We'll catch you all in a few weeks.
No.
English.
14.
No.
This has been Shadow Wolf.
This is no 163.
This is who?
No, 163.
Your face.
I'm Matthew Dustman.
Cloud.
I am Mary, Queen of Scots.
So
Okay,
until next time, guys.
Be safe.
No.